What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Big Vial Opinion back with another live video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And most importantly, make sure you sub to the channel. Turn on that post notification bell so that you be notified each and every time that your boy Big Vial is going live, man. With that being said, let's get into this intro. Welcome to Big Vial Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Vial Opinion platform.
While one of the government witnesses was sitting there with Tasha K on the internet, there's a picture of it. It's a go figure that my information was being shared with, witnesses. And it was being shared by the Tasha K. So a DOP officer, disciplinary hearing officer, which is a judge in the Bureau of Prisons, how do you even know a YouTube blogger? These questions you have to ask yourself. These questions people have to ask themselves. And I'm not going to lie, I don't have anything bad against the DOP. I don't have anything, I'm not mad or anything, or have anything against law enforcement or anything. I just have something against this one individual who accessed illegally my records 153 times. And on that same day, the affidavit said that there were 60 other BOP employees that accessed my records illegally on that same day. So there you have 61 BOP employees that work for federal that illegally access my records, my phone calls, my emails. And the last time, and when you talk to your, just put it like this, when you talk to your female, I'm kind of pausing because I want to make sure that I don't go into my case.
Right.
Excuse me for that.
No, you're fine.
But to give you a scenario, if you tell one woman, hey, I'm going to give you the money, you put the money behind the blue couch, and because the other lady is spending the money, and she's not supposed to be spending it because I need that money for lawyers. So you being more responsible. You take the money, put it behind the blue couch, and don't tell her. Just hold it and use that for emergencies or if I need anything or pay bills or whatever. The other woman is not supposed to know the very next day where that money is.
Right.
I'm not supposed to get a call, which I did from my girl saying they took the money, they left a note saying F you and F him, I'm going to do what I have to do. These things is happening. These things happening in 2019, and then I get another visit from the woman who took the money, and she tells me, since when did you start giving her the money, and why did you tell her to put it behind the couch and not tell me? Don't lie to me. I heard the phone call. So in 2019, I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she hear that phone call? In 2019, I'm trying to figure out why would she tell me in the last visit that Oh, and since when did you start calling her Cookie? By nickname on email. I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she know I call her Cookie? She say, don't lie to me. I fucking saw the emails. Excuse my language. I saw the fucking emails. That's what she said. And why would you tell your lawyer that you're not leaving her for me? Well, I did actually have that conversation with my lawyer. And now I'm trying to figure out how the hell she hear this. She say, I don't give a fuck. I know your voice. You cannot fucking lie to me. I know your voice. Well, I wasn't debating whether she knew my voice or not. I was in my mind trying to figure out, in 2019, how did she know?
Yeah.
Well, in 2019, a BOP disciplinary hearing officer was illegally accessing my phone calls, my emails, and sharing them with Tasha K. Tasha K said it on her own podcast, on platforms, that she was sharing that information with government witnesses' parents. While one of the government witnesses was sitting there with Tasha K on the internet, there's a picture of it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. It's your boy Big Val Opinion back with another live video. And today we're gonna do a little remember the time. We're gonna remember the time. We're gonna do a little backtracking today. We're gonna do a little backtracking today. I posed a question to everyone, and that question is, was Jane Doe number 5 innocent to this situation or complicit to this situation? And I'm going to need you all help to have this conversation today. We are going back because this seemed to be a major focal point at this point in time. And I think that it'll be a good thing to have the conversation as far as Jane Doe number 5 role in this entire situation. I hope everyone's having a blessed afternoon. Yes, I have relocated. I'm still getting situated. I'm still trying to get my things together. I'm looking forward to a new beginning, and hopefully everything goes as planned. I believe in God, and I believe that God makes no mistakes. So everything that happens in life has a purpose for happening. So we're going to continue with that. We're going to roll with that. And we're going to let some people get on up in here, man. Get on up in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Sub to the channel. I see Miss Angie in here, Barbara in here, Daddy V. What's up, D Nicole? Let's see, Miss Ann, DD Phoenix. What's going on? Miss Lady T, Larry. What's up? What's going on with y'all? Hopefully y'all having a blessed day out there. Styles by her meekness. Hey, how's it going? What's up? We're gonna have a good conversation today. We're gonna have a good live today. And most definitely, I appreciate the participation from the chat, because you all have been around this thing just as long, or if not longer, than a lot of these bloggers as well. So you all participation in the chat is very much so needed, because this is how we have the conversation. If y'all can hear me good, make sure y'all put a 1 in the chat. If y'all can hear me good, y'all can hear me clear. So we make sure that everything is being heard. Let's make sure that everything is being heard. Shout out to my team. Shout out to my people, my brothers. Shout out to my family. Shout out to my opinionator family. Shout out to the sector. Shout out to everybody that's out there doing something purposeful in life, doing something meaningful in life. Just living, man. I really appreciate everybody that support me, everybody that's been here, that comes on when I come. Okay, Miss Angie, hopefully we can have a good conversation today. I sent the link out to some of the guys. I'm not sure who's busy, who's free or not, but I'm gonna have a conversation today, and it's just a question. It's the biggest thing about today's live. It is just a question, and I don't believe there's a right or a wrong, but there is a common ground to this question that is asked. And when we ask this question, was Jane Doe number 5 innocent to the situation or complicit to the situation? And it's the question is simple, and the answer is based off of y'all opinion, based off the information that y'all have gathered, based off of the information that we understand. We should be able to come to some sort of conclusion to say whether Jane Doe number 5 was innocent of this situation or guilty, or not gonna say guilty, or complicit to the situation. So it's either she was innocent of the situation or complicit to the situation. However you want to shake it up. But I did a video on this situation involving Jane Doe number 5, the parents, and I did this video over a year ago. And this is before I knew anything. This is before I knew of anything about, as far as the messages, any details that we understand now. Understand that I did a video about this particular situation over a year ago. And I'm going to go back and replay that just to hear my thoughts at that time. And I'm going to compare my thoughts at that time to how I feel and what I understand today. So we're going to let a few more people get up in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, though. Most importantly, make sure y'all hit that like button. Share. I can feel his club, yeah. I can feel his drink, yeah. I can feel a good vibe coming over me. Oh, I can feel a party, yeah. It's somebody's birthday, happy birthday. I can feel a groove, yeah. I feel a DJ, yeah. I can feel joy. I can feel trust around me. I can feel people, and I can feel the love. And it's all in the air tonight. And it's all in the air tonight. It's all in the air tonight. It's all in the air tonight. I can feel a high, yeah, and I can feel a shot. Oh, I feel all the ladies in here looking so hot. Oh, I feel them on top, yeah, just like a good day. Oh, it feels like everybody is happy, and it makes me feel great. Oh, and it's all in the Okay. So I told y'all I was gonna go back, and we're going to listen to what I said a year ago about the involvement between the Jane Doe number 5 and her parents. So let's see what I was thinking a year ago. Let's see what I was thinking a year ago. She's more of a problem than her parents are. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the relationship she had with R. Kelly, I feel as though she's more of a problem than her parents are. You know what I'm saying? I feel like her parents are part of it, but she is just as guilty as they are. And I say that because once they came up with this grand scheme, they had to run that scheme by her. She knew what it was. She knew what everything that was going on, everything that was going on, and everything that was to happen. She knew what the main outcome was if things did not go the way her parents wanted them to. So now, hearing, were y'all able to hear that? Were y'all able to hear that? I'm gonna play this back again because if you listen to me while I'm speaking, this is a whole year ago, before the text messages, before any of this information that we've been provided came about. This is my stance a whole year prior to that. What's up, Derek? What up, brother Derek?
Yo, what's happening, baby? How you doing?
Ain't too much to it but to do it, man.
Oh yeah, I'm dual tasking right now. I'm on your show and I'm putting on the show on the grill today.
Oh yeah, you grilling?
Oh yeah, I'm doing a little bit.
I should have been up that way.
You damn right.
Right. Shit, I should have been up that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So what I'm doing on here today, man, I posed the question: was Jane Doe number 5 innocent or complicit? And I'm going back to the video I made over a year ago, speaking on this particular subject. And this is before we knew anything as far as the text messages go, as far as any testimony or anything. You know, this is my
Right.
pure thoughts. Those were my pure thoughts about the situation within itself. From just hearing some of the things that had taken place. So what I was just doing, I'm not sure if you caught it or not before I came on, was I was replaying a little bit of the video that I made a year ago to kind of give people an understanding as far as why I'm coming the way that I'm coming with this live today. Because it is important to see, like, this live today is only gonna help people understand, like, when you are able to see through certain shit, you can kind of predict like certain situations the way that we do when we talk how we talk. When we heard the situation, we all agreed that hold on, something ain't right with this shit. Hold on, this person ain't innocent. Hold on, we were saying this shit from the start. That this was a collaborative effort to extort this man the way that they did.
Right.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit and let people hear. And like you say, if y'all see on the stream, y'all see this was done a year ago. And this was before we was privy to any of the new detailed information that we have. Put in lies is what? The truth. You can't hide it. You can't hide it. No way you can hide it. Tonight, rather, I just want to speak on how I feel about Azriel Clary. despite the relationship she had with R. Kelly, I feel as though I feel as though she's more of a problem than her parents are. You know what I'm saying? I feel like her parents are part of it, but she is just as guilty as they are. And I say that because once they came up with this grand scheme, they had to run that scheme by her. She knew what it was. She knew what everything that was going on, everything that was going on, and everything that was to happen. She knew what the main outcome was if things did not go the way her parents wanted them to. Now, brother Derek, what you think about that?
That 100% facts. I already said, that she was like a Manchurian candidate, literally put there to do her parents' bidding. And when the thing about it was, she flipped on her parents before she ever flipped on Kale's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They had to get her back. You know what I'm saying? Because what I always tell people, like this was a setup for the long game. It wasn't no setup for R. Kelly to go to jail. They wanted to entrap this man with their daughter so they could have an unlimited stream of income.
Right.
And the only reason why they even started talking is because the Savages pulled them out. If the Savages hadn't never pulled them out and put their name out there, man, they'd be silent right now. They wouldn't be saying anything. I mean, so yeah, she was very complicit. She went in there knowing what was up. I mean, the text messages showed you that she knew what was up. And she flipped on her parents because she got tired of them aggravating that. Then when she found out that he was everything that I guess the parents had been saying to her, that's when she decided to turn the tables on him. You feel me?
Keep going, Derek. Keep going.
Yeah, so when it come down to it, it's different phases to the game. When it come to Asriel, man, and it was all revealed to me what that was on the January 8th fight she had with Joycelyn.
Right.
Because of the simple fact that I said to everybody who would listen, I'm like, that girl is not mad because she just realized that she's some victim. She's mad because she got some information. Any dude that's never dealt with a female know how a chick act when they feel like they know something, when they got some information that you didn't want them to have.
Right. You said that. You've been saying that from the beginning.
Yeah, it was about information. Larry McGee got his ass up on this shit, and he was like, talking to Shabazz, and revealed the whole plot. He pretty much waterboarded this girl with jail records and phone calls. And what people don't realize is that information didn't come straight from her daddy. It was given to her daddy, but her daddy gave it to Larry because she wasn't listening to her daddy about shit. And she got goaded into a trip to Vegas because she's thirsty.
Right.
And once they got her down there, they waterboarded her with all the emails and text messages and phone calls and pissed her off. So basically she was complicit. She knew.
Right. Because it's different. It's different if she would have met Kels on her own, and her and Kels living their life, and her parents found out, later on that, damn, my daughter dating a celebrity. Then all of a sudden, then they come up with a grand scheme to try to take this person down, but she don't have no knowledge. She would clearly have to have no knowledge of what they are trying to do in order to be innocent. That would make her a victim of her parents as well as Kels, but that's not the case because as we see, according to these text messages, You see, this is a part of it. Like now that when we go back and we read this type of shit and we see, you know, the mama telling her, you know, no, you know, say that's too much. Shaking my head. No, it's not, girl. You better get with the program. Her mama telling when you see this word program, that means the program is a plan. When you go to a ceremony,
the intricate plot, baby, the intricate plot.
When you go to a ceremony, what do they give you? They give you a program, and that program details everything that's going to happen throughout this ceremony. You know what I'm saying? So her mama say you better get with the program. That means she know what the program is, but the mama
yeah,
is on the
get your act together.
She better get your act together. Because
she have her act together.
But guess why but the only reason why she's telling her to get with the program is simply because she said you better stop taking shit for granted. That man just spent $20K or better on you, ain't got no coochie. So pretty much she advocating that her daughter better hurry up and get this man some sex.
Right. You better let that man smash.
Oh,
yeah, that's what they was on.
Let me see. Hold on, Q. You know, it's crazy, man, because a lot of this stuff could have been prevented. And when I say prevented, I'm looking at even from Jane Doe number 5 standpoint. You understood what your parents were trying to do. You could have told this, you trying to get a deal with this man. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, you know, you could look. I'm just here to sing. I don't know, you know, what's going on the other side, but look, I'm just here to sing X, Y, and Z. You know, I'm not trying to be a part of this, whatever. You know, somehow, you know, and that's just me thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But her at the same time, who to say, you know, the amount of pressure, you know, she was under, because you do know you know what I'm saying, what's going on. So you have a decision to make at that point in time to say, damn, should I let them know what's going on, or should I just continue to go on with what's going on? Because right now, like if I'm talking to you, me and you, Derek, we talking, and I'm sitting here talking about, man, I need some money, man. I need to go, you know, shit, man, I need to go rob a couple stores, man. I need to do something. And all of a sudden I asked you to give me a ride. Now you heard me sitting around talking about I need some money, I need to hit a couple stores. Now I'm asking you for a ride to the store. Even though you may not think I'm finna go do this, but you at the end of the day, how they gonna try to play it is, you know, you drove me to the store. You know, you was aware when I went inside this store and held these people up at gunpoint. You know, I come out, get in the car, tell you to drive off real fast, whatever the situation may be. But we got our expert, one of our coolest guys on this YouTube street that I met, to come in and give us an analysis of how this situation, what it looks like.
So, Big Bob, I'm going to be brief. The very first thing. What about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So there are two things to look at this. Two ways to look at this. One is state of mind. Big Vi, to try to give you a better understanding of the analogy that you were trying to give. If I bring you $50 right now, you'll say thank you. If I bring you $50 an hour after that, you say thank you. If I keep bringing you $50 and that money is coming from a crime, okay, you're not in trouble until you're being aware of where that money is coming from. Once you understand where the money is coming from, then you become complicit. Now you have a responsibility to bring that crime to the attention of the authorities. That's your responsibility.
You follow me so far?
Okay, I'm here. I'm with you.
So
Great.
now the question that the question will come is whether or not this young lady was doing this under duress. To my understanding, there hasn't been any communication where it seemed like that it was something that she was under duress of doing, but she still had the obligation to bring that to the authorities. Here's the question of the day: at what point? How old was she when these text messages were going on? Was she over the age of 15?
These is
It was 17.
17.
Okay, all right. So if she was over the age of 17, then she had the responsibility to bring it to the parent. If she couldn't get it to the parent, bring it to your school counselor. If not, bring it to the school counselor. Call the police. Very simple.
And in this case, it's neither you see neither one of those actions taken. But
No.
what she did was cut her parents off after they threatened, if this man don't put $5,000 in this account, by the end of the day, we're gonna put these pictures out to the public or whatever the situation may be. So I mean, she understood that they were pretty much on the extortion route.
Well, even if she had the part, if she was a part of it, and then she had a change of heart, she still has the responsibility to report that to the authority.
Okay, and right, and that's my understanding of the situation, because of the simple fact that she had the understanding of it. And even in court, like she said, when they asked her the question, were you aware that your mother was texting the defendant? She clearly said no, but it was clearly a lie. Because
Big Brian, if you and I are in a car and we're going to rob a bank, and while we're on our way to rob the bank, you decide, hey, I don't want to do this, and you get out of the car, once you get out of the car, you still have a responsibility to report that potential crime to the police. That's your responsibility.
Well, that's the answer.
If the bank gets robbed, and even though you didn't go, you're still responsible.
I had knowledge of it.
Yes. That's why it's called either a state of mind offense or state of mind defense.
And accessory after the fact.
Right. So,
because even though you can literally aid in the bed after the fact, you can aid in the bed prior to or during. But the situation with this is, and what makes it so interesting is the fact that I believe that she was on board to get it. Basically, the plan, and like I constantly say, the plan was to get this young lady into this man's life and leave her there, so that they could get the job, so they could get, the extra money or the loans that they need to start their businesses, so that they can have a steady stream of income that they don't have to work for, because they always had this information tucked in. Hey, you remember you was fucking my daughter when she was 17. That was what, the daughter was already screwing anyway. She was already out there. So it was nothing that they could do. She couldn't get unfucked. She had already been taken care of on that end. So now she's already out here. So put her on this man. Now she gets to this man, realizes that, hey, this dude is cool. He's a genuine person. I like him. I can't do this man like this. And then she ended up telling him the truth. That came out in court. He slapped the shit out of her, sent her home, and that's where the Valerie Payton permission slip came from. When he sent her home and they sent her back, just so that
the accessory before the fact, the accessory after the fact, all of that falls underneath the umbrella of state of mind. Okay,
absolutely. I mean, because think about it. I'm gonna let you go in a second, but this is what it is. In 2014, or prior to them meeting, this young lady had already studied him, and she posted something on him about his previous allegations before she ever met the man on Instagram. So if you're doing all of that, you already know the accusation. So you're going in with some sort of pretense. You know that the mom even said it in the text messages. We married Aaliyah because she was this, that, and the fifth. So they were fully aware of everything. So it was definitely an extortion scheme, but it wasn't to put him in jail. It was to keep him out so that they could reap the benefits of it. Right now, they ain't reaping nothing. It's not, they're going to get what they get, and then that's it. So
Well,
you can go ahead.
Here, Lil Mac. Go ahead,
I
Q.
know-
We're gonna let Lil Mac get in.
Yeah, I know that there's this theory of victimizing the victim. Some DA officers, they don't want to charge someone who has alleged someone of committed a sex crime against them. Under very rare circumstances that actually happens. And I think that there should be some legislation to change that, especially in the Brian Banks case, where you have someone who's alleged to be a victim of sexual misconduct, and that person is found to be a lie, and they choose not to prosecute that person. That has to change. But hey, I'm log off and keep listening. Big Vi, just want to get in and give a legal opinion.
Thank you so much, Q, for bringing that legal opinion for us and helping us get an understanding to what that's called.
No
the
problem.
state of mind.
Makes sense. It does make sense.
Lil Mac, what up, Lil Mac?
Hey, what's up, Vi, man? It's good talking to you. What's up, brother Derek? How y'all doing
What's
today,
going on?
man?
How you feeling, Lil Mac? Long time, baby.
Oh yeah, it's in a minute, man. I told I was on Skylive live last night with Levi and her. I told Vi I was gonna come over and we was gonna come over and chop it up with you. And he so happened to go live today. We was talking about the same thing about Jane Doe number 5. And I agree with everything y'all saying. I felt like she knew. She had to know because without her, none of this stuff would be in motion. And then everybody, last night when I was on Skyline, we was chopping up with Levi, and I started thinking about it. I think people get thrown off with the text message though, but the thing is about the text message, everybody keep thinking it's so much the mother. No, the daddy knew about it the whole time because
Yeah.
he was the manager of the situation. And then if you go back and think about it, when he was on Tyson Live, he said, all I need was my daughter to do one song with his name stamped on her, and then she can do whatever she want to do. She can be with her. His whole agenda and was to get paid. And if you listen to what Kel said, and I admit, he said, don't push your daughter in my face. Tell me it's okay because your agenda was to get paid. He said, the father pushed the daughter on stage. Kel's been explaining all this shit since I admit. And he said, I was feeling her, she was feeling me. I got to admit she was of age. If you like, it's just when it comes to the supporters, it's been 5 years. We were just missing key components in it, but the play and everything was right there in front of our face. And that's why I tell people that don't know what I'm saying, they be on these channels and with these YouTube channels, all that beefing and back and forth and hitting scales. If we just keep everybody live out and listen to the key components of the situation, every interview that man did, you knew he set Kels up and you knew he lied about everything. Just think about it. We just didn't have the information, the facts of everything right there and there back in 2019, 2018. But look at the fact, he lied about that damn Dolphin Hotel incident when he said Kels, you know what I'm saying, went out the back door of the hotel. Then he got into a goddamn tour bus.
Tour bus.
Yeah.
Bailed out.
But I was in Kissimmee, Florida back in June and July. I was on vacation. Ain't no way in hell how that damn traffic down there, Kissimmee, Florida, people getting out down there, you gonna yield off in a fucking goddamn tour bus like that. And then not only that, he don't know he got caught up in his lie again because Bruce was with Kel and also Robert Jr. with him, and Bruce said they did not leave that same day. So the man lied. The man been lying ever since he played everybody on everybody.
The whole scene.
But if you look at it, why is the father the face of the whole situation? Because if they bring the mama on to ask, she can't answer questions. She can't keep up with the storyline because he the mastermind. That's why you don't see her. He's the
That's why he,
mastermind behind everything. They need him to be the face to keep talking, because if she keep talking, she gonna tell it.
and that's why he didn't want he wanted the savages to shut the hell up because the savages was telling everything. He was keen on their plan. All both of those parents were set out to get money. If you get it's because people forget that the damn Savage was working at a used car dealership, and the man came out. He said, "I don't know R. Kelly. I don't know what he did or what he did do." He said, "I know Tim Savage," and he said, "Tim Savage told me if R. Kelly don't give you my money to pay for my bins, I'm gonna go to the media and tell him that he got my daughter kidnapped." And not all of that's what he did. Him and his wife set a press conference up behind that man's house in Atlanta and gave an interview shortly after that. So it's all these parents were trying to extort this man. He was Jane Doe. They knew he was Jane Doe. And he didn't break them off no bread or nothing like that. This is going to happen.
Oh man, I mean, come on now. I mean, think about it. You know, you got people that came up in the 90s, and you want to tell me that you don't know shit about what was going on with the hottest singer in the 90s. You don't know. You was hiding under a fucking rock. You don't know. But yet you feel comfortable putting your daughter on a grown-ass man. It just don't make no sense. It's like, how dare you?
It makes sense, though, if you got an ulterior motive. It makes all sense.
Yeah, if your motive was in extortion, if your motive was to be his light guy, to be his driver, they wanted jobs and shit. They wanted this man to cast his penis and give it to him, you know, so that they could go ahead and make dildos off the man. Nasty freakazoid shit. But he the nasty. You know, it's crazy as hell, man. You know,
it's fair to me. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
You know, and basically what it is.
Down to the relationship with. I would love to get to the bottom of the relationship with your boy Pimp Low and Cheryl Mack, because I believe that was the access code.
Oh, Cheryl.
You also forget the manager too. What's the guy name? That claimed Savage to threat him because Savage was put it. Mason. Yeah, Mason was another guy. That's how he knew everything was going on, because if you peep game, Mason, Tim was going to have Mason locked up. If he got him, I think he got him locked up. Angelo didn't want that to happen because that's what his key is get access to cares and knowing everything about the plays and setting everything up too. I think that man had his hand in that too with that man.
Let's keep it all the way above. In 2017, the man's house got fucking broken into. Inside job, 100%. All of that shit tied in.
Was the house broken into, or was the shit just taken?
It was walked into, pretty much. You know, now, it was walked into, bro. Now, I mean, let's just peep game. The man said, "Motherfuckers." They talk about, you know, Kel's like, you know, people that you done known for years and all that shit. And I was just wish that nigga had some blink cameras or some shit up so he could see this shit as it was unfolding. Because I mean, the crazy thing is that they scrambled so hard to convict the man knowing that he had been extorted.
But then another thing people ain't checking out too is the federal government had these text messages. They had everything. They knew that these parents were some notes to their parents. They could have easily charged her based off of these text messages, because blatantly in the damn text message, the mama said flat out, entice him. So, but y'all gonna double down and charge cash for enticement when the damn mama blatantly said told the daughter to entice him. So that goes to show how corrupted and how dirty these goddamn federal prosecutors are on these cases when it comes to chaos. And then for
Well,
people to sit back there to be worried about is he guilty, is he innocent, need to be worried about what the hell the federal government doing and how they bringing along these goddamn federal RICOs with a one man enterprise. That's right there. That's what to me. That's my strong point. That's what's gonna get him off. Because I said that on Skylight Live last night. The RICO that they're charging him with doesn't match the charges that he's facing. How the fuck can you be a one man RICO and you dealing with sex trafficking? That and all that, like racketeering and all. How the fuck one man get charged with racketeering? That don't make no fucking sense. Somebody had to do something or something to be a criminal, to be a part of that RICO, the enterprise. You just like you just can't say if that's the case. Then if he had people working for him and doing all this for him, and they testified and said that they wasn't around anybody that wasn't no minors, and all the women that he traveled with was of age. So how the fuck is he charged then? If y'all catch what I'm saying, they basically just rigged up some bogus ass misdemeanor ass state cases that was irrelevant. My thing is, I think once they go to the appellate court, I think they're gonna throw out that damn RICO and then they're gonna drop it to the state level. But I think they might just throw it out. If they do, worst case that they drop it to the state level, he's still gonna be straight because the statute of limitations of those charges that he faced, they're gonna ran out, and he also did serve 5 years. So basically, time considered served. So all Jennifer got to do is find a way to destroy that damn RICO, and he'll be fine.
I mean,
then he can go on to the Chicago case.
My whole point of this is the man shouldn't be serving no time. Period. When you look at the play and you look at the important piece to his case in general, Jane Doe number 5. The man was set up and extorted. The man shouldn't have been been in court for this shit. Not Jane Doe number 5, but they needed Jane Doe number 5 to even bring about the case. They needed 2 predicate acts.
Right.
The man shouldn't have been, man, from everything that we understand now, this man shouldn't have been fucking ever put in handcuffs behind this shit.
But the thing about it, the federal government had all that. That's not corrupt. They had those text messages where the mama was telling the daughter to pretend to be him and all that shit. They had all this shit. They had their hands on it. They had the option not to charge him for her. And then, like Levi made a great point. She said that she came out on mouth that she wasn't a victim. So how the hell we charging this man for a crime where she never filed a police report or never went to the federal prosecutor saying she was a victim? Y'all had to coerce her to turn on this man.
Because
that's the crazy thing about it.
Federal prosecutor needed her to even bring charges against him.
Right, because everything else was beyond the statute of limitations.
Yeah, and
if they couldn't charge him for Azriel, they couldn't have went after him about Geronda Pace. They wouldn't have been able to do it.
They needed
right, and then I think when it comes to Sarah's situation, they should have never, to me, fired Doug Anton because that man know about these RICOs. He was a lawyer for John. I think John Goddard or somebody, a member of the Goddard family. Cass needed somebody in New York that was going to protect that RICO, but that's what his main issue.
You just said something that was very critical to the point you make. The federal government had all of this information. They don't give a damn who was representing R. Kelly. What they wanted to happen was gonna happen, and then he's gonna have to do what he's doing now. Come back on the back end and fight this shit. Because they wanted a conviction under, man, what they did, the way that they got their conviction, man, when this shit comes back around, you talking about Ann Donnelly could possibly go to jail.
I mean, if they can attempt to send Trump to jail, goddamn it, they can send a judge to jail.
She can get this bar. She knew of all of this information and blatantly.
Not only that, y'all, she allowed Deborah Cannon to come in, not taking enough from Deborah Cannon because he did an amazing job to catch these accused in lies. She allowed that man to come on and take that case, knowing that he just fired his attorneys. He wasn't ready to go to trial. That man wasn't prepared to go to trial. So how can you sit there and allow this man to come in the courtroom knowing that this man just got on the case about a month or 2 or 3 months before the trial? Now he got to come in there. He hasn't studied the case. He doesn't know that much about the case. That's not fair. He didn't. His court is going to get a conviction. How can you even bring a lawyer in who haven't said all the facts of the case? That's not right. That judge, she was able to say. Then she went back and changed the wording of the indictment. And
Hey, Derek, you got
Yeah.
the YouTube open in the background because every time Lil Mac talking, your little thing around your picture is
I ain't
blowing
got
up.
nothing open.
Yeah, because I can see like it's showing like an echo when we talk, then it look like you talking. I don't
Cause I
know
hear
if
me what I was saying.
Yeah, go ahead, Lil Mac.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say that. Then I'm gonna let J Rock get back off in it. But yeah, she made a judge and down what she did was damn near wrong. Like basically set this man up to get eaten by wolves in that courtroom because you had federal prosecutors on this case who've been preparing for this case. Not only that, you've been letting them revise the indictments and go in, change things, take people out, put people in, revise their indictment. But then when it's time came to go to trial and his attorneys were being incompetent and he wanted to fire him, you didn't push the trial date back. You let it rip forward, knowing that this man has a problem with his reading condition, knowing he's dyslexic and he doesn't know the full aspect of the law. And I bet if that was Donald Trump or anybody in that was facing the trial, she wouldn't have allowed that. That's damn near wrong. You let a man come in this case and haven't even had a good enough time to prepare for this case. What, 3 months before the trial started, he got on the case, and then that's not right. Like that's right there. That's another reason I think this case can get overturned because of that right there alone. Like I think that's fall under ineffective counsel. But I yield back. I see J Rock stepped in. What's up, J Rock?
Man, what's up, Lil Mac? Big Vi, what's good? Derek, what's happening with
What's
you?
up?
Man,
What up?
What's
up, J Rock? How you feeling, baby?
I'm feeling all right. It's Sunday. It's the weekend. Even though the weekend's starting to kind of wind down a little bit. But I got to go ahead and say, before I say anything, man, I want to say R&B music took a little bit of a hit, man. Rest in peace to Irish Grinstead. In case y'all know who she is, she was one third of 702. She passed away.
Man.
And
oh shit, R.I.P. Yeah.
Yeah, and said that she from what I'm hearing, they're saying that the reason that the cause of death hasn't been disclosed, but from what I'm hearing, they believe that it might have been she may have passed away due to kidney failure, which is ironically what took her twin sister's life 15 years ago. So obviously it's that genetic thing, man. So rest in power to her and condolences to her family and the rest of the group. And because they were a nice little group and they came out, man. So, but let me go ahead and jump in on what you guys are talking about. I totally believe she was complicit to a certain degree, and I think she was in the middle of it. But I think while she was in it and she saw how genuine R. Kelly was, she wanted to kind of back out of it. But her parents started pressing her in it. She said, no, you in it with us now. We need X, Y, and Z. And we need you to do this, that, and the third. And then it's funny y'all should mention LM, who was involvement, and that's when he started releasing phone calls and videos, whatever the case may be, to her to try to flip her back, to try to get her back on course. So they were all complicit, and you write about Ann Donnelly, because Ann Donnelly is going to be, and I think once it gets out, her being disbarred is going to be the least of her problems, because it's going to be disbarment, concealing of evidence, concealing vital information that could have really turned the whole thing around. And she decides to say, no, I'm going to do this my way in my court, which creates a kangaroo court anyway. So I totally agree with you in regards to what Ann Downey's involvement in it. And I totally believe she shouldn't never, in my personal opinion, she should never be allowed back on the bench after this. And also mentioning back to the how you guys are talking about the RICO, which I think is very funny because I saw, I think it was Viral Hip Hop when Dabowski was on there and he was talking about how he was being approached by some government individuals and was trying to use his YouTube channel as a connection to R. Kelly to justify the RICO. And I think it's real funny that they're trying to use that to justify the RICO, but yet R. Kelly's entourage was involved in a felony assault charge while R. Kelly was on tour, but they never mentioned that at all. So if you're trying oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, they dropped the ball, man. They just took that case and ran with it because that wasn't no RICO to charge them with the right RICO because it's no way in hell he should have co-defendants if you're dealing with a record. You got racketeering charges and you got you got a sex trafficking. If it was who, you gotta look at who you got to charge the people that was booking the flight. It's no way in hell nobody should have. I don't care if you did offer them immunity or whatever. Somebody had to be a co-defendant in that type of a RICO, and I think that's what's going to get him off. How the hell you charge a man with sex trafficking, right? And who what you got to look at who was he sex trafficking or who was he sex trafficking from and back and forth to? Now that who was booking the flights, booking the tickets to get these underage girls to come over him? Why are they not being charged? That's right there alone let you know that this was scandal. And Judge Andela knew this was no fucking RICO case. And she should have allowed that case to even take place. Like I just said before you got on, J Rock, I think that what they're gonna do when he's gonna win his appeal because this RICO is unjust. Like I always tell people, encourage people, no matter if you think he's innocent or guilty, is you gotta look at the facts of how they brought these cases upon them and what they did was flat out wrong.
Oh yeah, it was flat out wrong, without question. And on top of all of that, the fact that the amount of immunities that were given out alone should have just sent all kind of red flags anyway.
Right. How the hell are you gonna give Demetrius Smith immunity? He openly admitted and said that, and Rob shouldn't even been facing the bribery charge because you can't link him to the bribery because he's saying he didn't do it for his behalf. So how you gonna say in an indictment, oh, we did this for the behalf of R. Kelly and to promote his music brand and all that, and etc. in the indictment, but then Demetrius Smith got on the stand and said R. Kelly wasn't aware of what he was doing. And he didn't know nothing about him going down there to bribe the fish. So, and the only thing that can link him to that bribery is Demetrius Smith and the prosecution key witness to that bribery just said that Kels didn't have nothing to do with it. He didn't know nothing about it. Make that shit make sense. This man should even been facing those type of charges. Then if we want to double back down on it, go over there to Chicago. He should have been charged with that because he was acquitted of the case. And once I feel like me personally, I know I ain't above the law and I don't know nothing about the law that well. Once they found he was not guilty of obstruction, they should have dropped those charges of Jane Doe one, the landfair girl. They should have dropped it because he already was acquitted of that on the state level. Like it's double jeopardy. How they spin it, how they twist it, it was double jeopardy over there. But to get back on topic about Jane Doe number 5, she most definitely was in on it. And then when she got in with Kel, she decided, hey, I don't need this. I don't need to be be around this. I don't
It
need
was
y'all.
this.
She
It was at
smart
this
up on
moment.
their ass.
So
Yeah.
she said right. She said that he forced her to write these letters. But everything you saying, everything that we come to find out, it was at this moment right here when she said she was do the letter to the brother, and she
How
told him,
how can he force her to read a letter that he can't even read?
Thank you.
"Hold on though." But I'm saying the point when she got into the situation for herself, she came in it involved. She came in it with the program, but then it was the point when she said that I admit I started developing feelings for him and went from being excited to be around R. Kelly, the celebrity, to falling in love with Robert, the person.
Right.
Even though I wanted to have sex with him and actually hinted towards it a few times, I backed up from it because he was not showing the same interest. So she's telling her brother, like, look, I came in this thing, dealing with R. Kelly, but I fell in love with Robert because this man wasn't being no aggressive to her, wasn't being no abuser to her. She even said he did not even want to have sex with her, So this is when the parents get mad because now she's leaning more towards R. Kelly now. She's leaning more towards Robert now versus extort
Hey,
R.
Big Bot, check this out though. She basically what they did, they told her basically that he was this pedophile and he was gonna jump down her throat and jump her bones because
Right.
they probably sure enough believed the Aaliyah thing. They sure enough believed a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't go into no situation talking about he married Aaliyah because, and you don't even know that she's underage and shit. You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's
You
safe to
can't.
say this, Derek. So what you just said, so it's safe to say this, the reason for her going into the situation expecting him to have sex with her is because the parents then told her this is what he do.
Man, they came up in the 90s, bro. They know.
When he showed her something different than what she expected, then now she done fell in love with Robert because she thinking coming in the door, I finna have to let him screw me, this, that, and the third. But now she get into the situation for herself and see it ain't that. Hold on. My parents said this man just wanted to screw. But shit, he acting like he not even attracted to me.
That's what let me know that the Dolphin Hotel scenario never fucking happened.
No. I mean, clearly what we talked about earlier, right here. The Dolphin Hotel is all involved around this time, right here.
They just knew he was there. That's all that was. They just knew he was there. He offered to go take her to a studio. He said no hotel. Right? It's in the paperwork. He ain't want. It's in the messages. He ain't want no to be in the hotel with her. He wasn't stupid. This man have been burnt too many times.
Because at this point, she's in California. The mama telling her, you need to get with the program. This man spending all this money and you ain't gave him no coochie. So the Dolphin Hotel happened prior to the California. So if he hadn't already screwed with her at the Dolphin Hotel, why would she say you ain't gave her no coochie?
Right.
But it couldn't have happened at the Dawson Hotel if Lil Rob was there.
No, I'm saying that it didn't happen. Clearly.
That shit didn't happen at all.
But I'm saying it didn't happen at all based upon the text messages. But the fact that they're still saying, they're trying to say that he reached out to her or what have you. But when he was trying to do a FaceTime, she didn't want to do FaceTime.
Would never answer the FaceTime because the mama
because that would have been the mama.
Yep.
Right. Like I said, the whole thing, like I said, when it comes down to it, they knew exactly what R. Kelly had been accused of in the past. They sat up there and they freaking lied. They were on TV and they told a lie. We had heard about the allegation, but we didn't even think about it. I mean, come on, the shit had been going on for years. It stayed in the news. It was in the magazines. Anytime some shit came up. So how are you gonna sit up here and tell me that a world-renowned figure, you don't know what's going on with him? You ain't heard nothing.
Derek, they knew. This is how we know they knew. Remember, if y'all, if you got the video, do y'all remember she was 12 when she was on the stage with Gladys Knight singing one of R. Kelly's songs.
Even on her Instagram,
she got that song singing "If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time."
Yeah,
before she ever met the dude.
Yep.
So it ain't like she didn't know his songs, because he said she didn't know none of his songs. That's a lie.
That's a lie. And
these people,
this was one of her most famous lies right here. What is it? I have to keep going back to this lie, because this is the greatest lie ever told right here. This is one of her most spectacular lies.
Like, I didn't even know that we were going to be doing an interview with Gail until probably like less than 24 hours, maybe like the morning, like the night before, going into the morning of. So, and it's like, I don't watch news anyways. I didn't know who she was. I was just like, everything, yes. You know, before that interview, you know, he had us practicing every single day.
Practicing what?
Girl, shut up.
Answering questions. And if he didn't like our answer, he would tell us exactly what to say and how to say it. So anytime you mention anything,
I'm stunned by this.
Yeah.
So anytime you mention
anything about sexual preference, we already know to say, I'm not here to talk about that. Because that's what he told us to say every single time.
That's exactly what you said.
First of all, I'm not here to talk about my personal life. Okay. And I would never share with no one what it's like.
I'm going to show y'all something. Y'all hear how she is saying we, as in she's speaking for Jordan. Jordan never said none of this shit. She the one who was doing all the saying. And then even when she told Gail, I'm not here to talk about my personal life. Now all of a sudden she on this interview telling Gail, we was trained to say this. We was trained to say that. But then
you can tell she was lying how defensive she got with
it. You come out and say you wasn't even aware of the Gail King interview until 24 hours before the interview. So how the hell could you be training for days and days and days if you didn't know?
She got that confused by what she got confused was her interview with the government. Because remember, the government said that they was interviewing her. They had been interviewing her for months.
She interviewed for 3 weeks straight, coming up to her testimony.
And you know the funny part about this, and you know the funny part about this, to me, it really confirms that it's a whole that they lied about a whole lot of stuff anyway, because of the fact. Remember, Cash Jones, I think it was Cash Jones who was on the phone with R. Kelly, was telling him about the Gayle King interview and talking about how they was gonna rip him apart, and R. Kelly was like, "Rip me apart how?" And it was like she was trying to give him a heads up on that. So then if she talk about I wouldn't know about it, know about Gayle King. That R. Kelly already knew about a lot of that stuff anyway. So how does she not know?
Man, right.
But Derek, I'm gonna say, listen, y'all. Do y'all remember at the Dawson Hotel when Rob received the text message of the emoji, and she said she saw the emoji of a rat. So they already knew she was a rat coming in, because they had done their homework on who she is.
I remember Greenberg saying something about her at a press conference. I just couldn't find that press conference. You know.
Oh, I know he said that it better not be Azrael saying anything.
Yeah, but this shit is crazy, man. But like I told people, my biggest thing is, looking at it from the perspective of You know, we now see who was the mastermind behind this thing, Pimp Low. But also, just because he the mastermind doesn't free the mama or Jane Doe number 5 or the sister, you know, that was doing the traveling with her.
And it doesn't free the savages.
Oh yeah, Tim.
Funny. People forget that Tim. People forget that Tim was trying to start his. He said it. And look who the lawyer they went and got to represent them. Jared Briggs and Michael Avenatti.
I mean, look, it was obvious when the daughter came out with a damn music video. It was obvious what was up. I mean, people was too busy looking past what they was doing to actually see what they was doing. If you know what I mean. You know, they was looking at the visual part of it and not listening to what they was actually saying. You know, the fake ass tears and all that shit. They wasn't even really listening. You know, because one thing about us, I think that everybody on this panel, tears don't really move us like that.
Nah, I'm listening. I want to hear what you're saying, but you know,
tears don't do a damn thing for me. And you know, because you still talking. That's like when you were a kid and you come in the house crying, to skint yourself the hell up, crying and hollering and shit. Well, how did you fuck yourself up? All the tears don't do that.
What does mama say? Shut up.
Right, Derek. Right, Derek. Tears don't mean a damn thing because when R. Kelly was out on Gayle King crying, they made memes and shit about that. But when these accusers were crying, they worried about
his tears didn't
mean shit. Yeah, you're right about that.
Everything he said on the Gayle King interview, man, I sat there every day.
I listened to what he was saying. Fuck them tears. I was listening to what he was saying.
Video. He said it really is girls out here that's trapped inside basements. It was like the next day, breaking live on Facebook. Some dude walking through an alley in Chicago, hear a woman screaming inside a bed in the house. She chained to a pole to a radiator inside of a basement in her house. I'm like, man, Kel just told these people this shit on Gayle King yesterday. That it really is girls out here missing, man.
And they chained up and can't get out. What the hell is y'all doing messing with me?
I say then they try to ask him simple questions, but they try to put it in a crossword puzzle for him to answer it a way that make it look like he don't know what he's talking about. I'm like,
all of this has been practiced. You got to think about it, man. R. Kelly was the first human being in American history or any other place else to be charged with a one-man freaking RICO charge. Since then, we have seen some ridiculous RICOs.
Exactly.
Man, Trump had more co-defendants.
But he told us initially in the beginning that all of these charges that they're putting on R. Kelly, these were the same charges that they tried to put on me.
And they continued to do it, and they didn't stop until. See, what people don't even realize is that that's why they needed Azriel, because they couldn't have touched him without her.
I hate to say black people. It's that Democrat Party doing the shit.
We got old brother Levi, y'all. Levi coming in hot now. Y'all know Levi coming in.
Hold on. Hey, what's up, brothers and sisters? How you guys doing?
Levi can't stay away from a good conversation, I see.
I can't.
In the house.
Hey, how you guys doing? Absolutely.
We're doing all right. I came on today to compose a question to my audience or just to the people in general, as far as Jane Doe number 5 being innocent or complicit. And I went back. I did a video about a year ago, and I went back to that video. This was before I knew of any of the information that we became privy to.
Yes, sir.
And I made a statement about this particular situation, and I said it's crazy. You know, I said that she was just as guilty as the parents, You know, because you know when you put together a play, when you put together a program, the way that the father put together this program for the family, you participated in this program, and you also had you could have been the changing factor in this whole program. You could have destroyed this whole program before it even got started, really.
Yes.
But you allowed yourself to get involved in it.
Yes, sir.
But I'm gonna yield back and let you give your take on it.
Hey, my opening monologue. Yeah, I'll be talking. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna talk long. I'm actually at my studio painting, and I had to run back up to Home Depot, so I wanted to take a break. But I was listening. I'm listening to your show as I'm painting, and I wanted to dip in here and say, first of all, shout out to you. Thank you. So is this Sandra on here?
Yes,
how you doing, darling? I want to thank you also for gracing my channel last night, my platform, and supporting it. And I really appreciate you for that. We will be in touch. But I want to say to Big Vi and everyone that's on this panel and everyone that's on board who's listening to Big Vi, what you're doing is not in vain. I want to say that for one. By you all discussing what you're discussing, for one, you're putting the truth out into the universe, for one. For two, Robert is listening. Robert is listening. So those who stay on course, like yourself, those who are really speaking about that which matters, as he always reminds me, as long as it's legal and as long as it's truthful and legal. I'm not trying to lie on nobody. I just want the truth out there. So what Brother Big Vi is doing, I thank you, bro, from the bottom of my heart for keeping this information going, keeping our eyes on the prize. It's not about the beefing. Y'all saw how I got off track on Levi Kelly and started to engage in the beefing and the circus, all that stuff. I'll never do it again, and I apologize to y'all for that. But once again, what Big Vi is doing by keeping this whole, the proper narrative, this is like a murder mystery, y'all. And while you may think that you are insignificant, Big Vi and everyone that's on here, you're not. Because when you're dealing with a murder mystery, Miss Sandra, the brothers, Vi, people in the chat, someone could see something that no one else has seen that could be presented in the habeas corpus that, God forbid, we don't have to get to that point. But they could see something that would offer a turning point, a pivotal point that the world is now saying, my God, I didn't know this. 1,000 eyes are better than 2 eyes. And that's what we have. 1,000 ears are better than 2 ears. So I have to thank you so much. And you talked about CBS with Gayle King. And I want y'all to know this. CBS is going to be made to answer for allowing that young lady to sit there and lie, for allowing her father to sit there and lie, and her mother. They're going to be made to answer for that. And when they're made to answer, the work that you all are doing, you never know, Big Vi. I can't speak on too much, but you never know. Y'all might see Big Vi sitting on CNN. Just hold tight, because this is a classroom. You might see Sandra, you guys sitting on CNN, because this is a classroom that we're in. These are classrooms that we're sitting, discussing, having substantive debates and conversations about what actually transpired. But CBS, Lifetime, and all of them are going to be made to answer. Just hold tight and you watch my words come to fruition. I want to say also, when Big Vi played the young lady saying that Robert rehearsed with us and he told me what to say if sex came up. So he told me what to say. Well, did he tell you what to say when you said the father was a fucking, excuse me, Vi, the father was one of the biggest liars in the world and you should watch the father because he's the manipulative one? Did he tell you what to say?
She came from the heart. Came from the hip hop.
Did he tell you what to say when you said that they had photographs and pictures? They were making me take pictures and photographs, and they were using that to blackmail him. They were using that as ransom. Now, Did he tell you to say that? Because guess what? Your testimony confirms that that's true. The text messages confirm that that's true. When a young boy, one of her male friends, had her phone, and I'm gonna revisit this on my channel, and she told her mother, oh my God, look at this. And she sent the mother the message of the boy saying to Jane Doe number 5, I have your whole life in my hands right now. I'm looking at your whole life. That young boy was looking at the setup of R. Kelly in her phone. He was looking at the text messages. He was looking at the photographs that they were sending Robert, and Robert sending her photographs, thinking that she's 18. That young boy had in his possession the plot of what was going on so deeply that the mother said to her in the text messages, he's probably going to transfer that stuff from his phone to his phone. Where is he at? What bus is he on? Your father's going to go up there and get. Don't tell him we coming. Don't tell him nobody's coming. We got to get him. Now, my question, y'all, is: was that young man threatened? Was his life threatened? Where is he at, people? Where is he at right now? Because
Levi, you are so right.
That's right.
Tell you, that's facts. That's facts.
Is he alive? He has some information that was sending them 2 parents and Jane Doe number 5's ass to prison. Don't be slow, people. Don't ever. Let me calm down. I'm about to get off of here. Don't y'all ever underestimate these kinds of people who could sit back and plan and plot and orchestrate a plot against to set a man up who is completely innocent. Don't you ever underestimate the diabolical mind, people. Don't you ever think for a second that young boy couldn't be somewhere dead right now or in hiding. When the father approached him at the bus, when he got off with the phone, did the father just say, oh, you got my daughter's phone? Or did the father threaten him? And
but
tell
Uncle
him,
Levi, think about the guy in Dubai. Remember, they threatened him. The guy came on and said they threatened him.
Absolutely.
I'm out of here, y'all. Go ahead.
Hey, Levi. Hey, Levi.
You know, the thing.
You still on, Levi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Brother Muse. This is Uncle Muse. Guys,
what's up, bro? What's up, bro?
I want to catch you before you leave out of here. Happy birthday. Again, belated birthday. My birthday is this coming Tuesday. Everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat, please listen to me. Let me breathe just for a moment. Let's shift gears for a moment. I was fortunate enough, Brother Levi. I thought I was going to miss the whole thing. I was able to get a day in at the Fairmont Hotel in downtown Chicago in the ballroom to a jazz getaway headliner hosted by Brian Culplicit.
Yes, sir.
Along with him, Peter White, one of the top guys in the industry. And unfortunately, our brother Gerald Albright was Saturday night. I wasn't able to get that ticket, but I was able to, at least get one ticket out of the 4 days.
Yes, sir.
Phenomenal Levi experience. Just grown, Nishimo, just grown and sexy, mature, just goodness in the atmosphere, floating everywhere, brother Provoke. I was so blessed to be able to treat myself to that way. I wasn't able to do a party like I wanted to do, like I always do every year. My family's kind of disappointment because I throw down, Levi. I have a lot of food, so so they were saddened by it, but they understood. So I was able to just say, well, this year turning 57, Brother Levi, I'm just gonna do me. I'm gonna treat myself to the concert, and then this coming Tuesday, I got a yacht cruise at Navy Pier. I was able to fit that in my budget, so that's what I'm doing for my B-Day. I'm on vacation. So I just want to share that with you, man. I know how you love music, everybody on the panel.
Yes,
related to that jazz, man. To be in that atmosphere.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
to be in the atmosphere with all that good jazz. My goodness.
But brother, let me say this to you. That I thank you, and that's a beautiful thing. But I'm telling y'all, Miss Sandra, brother, you, everybody that's sincere and genuine, I'm like Santa Claus. I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice. We gonna throw one of the biggest parties. Big bag on there. Every supporter gonna be there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we gonna party all night. He gonna sing. We gonna do some karaoke. How you doing? Yes. We gonna do some karaoke. Y'all are gonna see that man in the flesh. He gonna shake your hand, give you a hug, give the lady a kiss. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
For what you just said, brother, and I'm gonna say it to you again. I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice. What you guys are doing is so beneficial to Robert. And you're going to see, once again, thank you so much, Brother Bob, because this is what it's about. Talking about this murder mystery and putting the pieces together. Look at it. And this, that, and the third, and not being deterred by no foolishness, no beefing, all of that. So I'm going to get out here, but just know that I'm thinking. I'm listening to your whole show. I may come back in, but I'm really enjoying this. Okay, you guys.
Be blessed, my brother.
Love you guys. Yes.
Peace, Levi.
Oh, how you doing, Niecy Mo?
Hey, baby. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm amazing. I'm doing amazing. It is so good to hear your voice. You just don't know.
I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to be heard and not just viewed. Hey, sweetie.
Yeah,
I got to see you, my brother. I didn't know you was that close to me. We got to see each other. We too close to not see each other.
J-Rock, Mr. Timeline himself, man. What's good, J-Rock?
Man, what's been going on? Man, like I said, I don't know if you caught earlier, we lost a little piece of R&B. I heard.
As I was about to come in, man, I love 702, man. I used to enjoy that, man. I still go back and listen to some of their stuff. Oh, man, that was disappointing.
My favorite song is "Get It Together." That was my cut.
Man,
I hurt my heart when I found out about that.
Wow.
Let me ask y'all something. Something that Uncle Levi said last night. Let me tell y'all something. I want y'all to closely pay attention to this. Now, we have been losing artists like crazy. I mean, vital pieces to our heart. People that we grew up on, real music, genuine music. Right. But for some reason, for some reason, I can't say that for some reason, because I know it's nobody but God. Y'all know Rob has gone through COVID. He's had COVID twice. Had to have surgery, two surgeries, if I recall. Yeah. Being held captive against his will.
Yeah.
But God is still protecting him.
Yeah.
And he's not just protecting him for any old reason. He's protecting him for a reason. And that reason, I believe in my heart, God got much more work for this man to do. Yeah. And if y'all go and listen to every freaking song, this man, and I gotta say this, that Jay-Z said he didn't have a good lineup. Dude, don't even try it.
The dude is the lineup.
Say it again, my brother. For the people on the slow bus.
Yep.
For those who don't
understand, God is all through his music. Y'all don't hear nothing but God. Even when he's cursing in any of, he still go back to whom he know.
Hey, you know what? Sandra, now check this out. One of the songs that I felt him when he called out to God, and I knew it was the truth, was on "I Can't Sleep."
Thank you.
Oh,
my God. Thank you.
Man, Lord, hear my prayers. Please help me out of this situation I'm in. And I've been there, so I know that's real. I'm like, oh shit.
Speak on that, prophet.
And they don't realize it. And they don't realize it because see what was failed to be realized by most people in society is that God is everywhere. God don't take no break when your ass is sinning. He's there.
Oh, Lord,
God don't take no break when you shaking your ass in the club. He in there with you. You know what I'm saying? So God ain't taking no break while this man is in this situation, and he's saying, "Oh Lord, hear my prayers. Please help me out of the situation I'm in right now." God's there.
Right. Yep.
He's there.
That. And
you know,
and I'll go ahead. I'll bring up this little point. I have told people time and time again. Everybody, especially black folks and certain people who've got big platforms, who have said anything against R. Kelly, has been catching their own private hell.
Say that.
Look at what's going on with Steve Harvey and Shirley Strawberry.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at what happened to Jeannie Ma and Jeezy. Jeezy filed a divorce on her.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is all within about a week.
And the thing about it is when you know your tongue. The tongue.
It's a deadly weapon.
You got to be careful about speaking on God's anointed. You got to be careful, tread lightly.
What did it say in the Bible? Touch not my anointing and do my prophets no harm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Especially
and I know in these people infinite mind. Please hear me, y'all. In their infinite mind, all they see is R. Kelly. But remember, before there was ever R. Kelly, there was Robert. Absolutely. And God has total control over Robert.
Right.
What God is doing in this man's life, the transitioning that he's doing in his life is what some of us need.
And that's for
we
Robert.
All have sinned.
What he said, Nisimo, and that's for Robert. This is what I need for you to do.
Yep.
Get rid of them clowns and get yourself a whole nother crew.
Thank you.
Because the more I try to live, the more I try to get into the positive, the more these clowns don't want to let me live. That man had messages in his music, man.
So check this out. So prime example of this, and you see what happens. This is a prime example. We can watch this shit in real time. These Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders.
Man,
and we gonna talk
preach,
about
baby. Preach, honey.
How God has His hands on somebody.
Yeah.
And how what focus can do.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, now I think back to something that I saw when Deion Sanders was at TD Jakes' church. And he pulled R. Kelly up on that stage.
Preach, honey.
Now, one thing that I know about Deion Sanders, the man is actually, he knows God. You can hear it in him.
He's an anointed.
You can hear it in him. There is no way you should be able to walk and drop your behind off on somebody's college and change the culture of the whole NCAA.
Yeah.
Unless you're anointed. Unless you are, that's God-like. That's because God is all up in him. Now, you see what happened to those who speak on him. They get embarrassed immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. You know, one thing about when you have God, there is no fear of speech.
Mm-hmm.
You say what you say, and you know what you're saying, and you mean what you're saying because God put it in your mouth to say it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why our conversations flow the way that they do. Anything of God is easy. Our conversations are simple.
Simple.
Derek, it's funny you're saying that. If y'all remember, Deion Sanders is the same one that come on a live. I don't know who live he was on, or if he was on his own phone or what. When the girl came out and said he made her eat her own feces. He said, I know the man.
What's up, HR?
I know for a fact she's lying.
Right. You know,
he said, yes, he like kinky sex. Who don't? But to go to that extent, to lie on a man, he said, I don't know what's going to happen to you, but you might want to get that right.
Now, look at this. I'm saying this for a reason. I'm about to bring things full circle. The most dangerous thing to white society is a black takeover of anything, that they've established.
You teaching that properly.
Okay.
But look what they already started saying. He can be bought out.
Come on, but let me go. Let me keep on going. If R. Kelly and when R. Kelly gets his masters and his probably at this point, because it's got to be appreciated in value because the music, the shit, about $3 billion or $4 billion that they owe him at this point.
Thank you.
I'll tell you right now, it's at least on the low end.
That's the main reason he said what he said. These accusers, are just pawns in the game. They don't care about them like that. Like they all out here doing that $3 million that they want, that's chump change.
But see, that's a takeover. You got to think about it. Look at what Dion is doing. Look at what R. Kelly did. R. Kelly cornered the market on producing for people for decades. Decades. He took that job from Babyface, took it out of his hands, yanked it from him.
Now, that's Walk. That's Prophet and J Rock. Walk with me. Come on, J Rock.
Go ahead and take that baton.
We got to tag you in. J Rock. So now, what does that look like? Now I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here again, and J Rock already gonna follow me. I'm not disrespecting. I said this on previous lives of my nephew, but I'm gonna reiterate what I said. I'm not disrespecting nobody in the industry when it comes to the rap game and the hip hop. I'm not on none of that. Here's what I'm saying. The impact, let me slow down. The impact that Biggie and Tupac had at their hiatus in that moment was so impactful that it breathed life into the current culture of this artist in such a way. Not only, and y'all know how I feel about Pop, but Biggie, to me, even now, is still one of the most underrated to this day. Pop's impact is so powerful that in a majority of white institutions, Berkeley College, they have in their language art department studying it part of their curriculum. Studying Pac's poetry and his lyrics. Not because they're fascinated by poetry and music, it's to get into the mindset and the psyche of such a one that can pen something like this to really understand what the culture is really about, what's really going on here. You see the impact of what they did, that a lot of artists probably wouldn't get started really quick like that after they deceased and they passed. And look how we still talk about them today. So now they flipped to R&B. Kels was born in such an era, me and him just a year apart. He in 67, I'm born in 66. So look at everything we was exposed to. And as he was being bred and taught, going to choir rehearsals with his mom, getting exposed to all that good music, all that fiber that. And then, come on, J-Rock, and then he started his journey. He started his journey to the point where, and I can never articulate the way J-Rock does, but he infected and imparted so much inspiration to individuals that he's a threat. Pop was a threat because of his thinking pattern and how he was able to gravitate in a whole mindset that, hey, our concerns are not being addressed. America, this is what you created. That you think we are, that we are not. The real truth about that, you have refused to address that. So what I'm going to do is put an acronym together to address the ills and the deficiency and the devastation that we have been doing, and even the deficit that we still traumatized by this day. They don't want that type of healing and goodness to be put out in the atmosphere. Kel said his say. I didn't really want to go to the spectral song. I mean, that got me in, and that's what was selling, and that was able to get my name. But they didn't. I wanted to do the humanity song. When you walking in goodness and you walking in integrity and you trying to inspire and impact and encourage and motivate
Brother, you're
individuals,
saying a
the
lot.
other
You're saying a
individual that's
whole
in
lot.
charge, the one who's in charge, walking in darkness. They don't want that. So that's a real threat. And now they see now you on the top of the list as a threat. Why? Because you have healed and resurrected artists that was long forgot about it. And not only resurrected their career, you brought them into a whole different age demographic. I give back to J Rock.
You know what, Muse? It's funny you should say that, because one of the things that we've always talked about was the fact that the Best of Both Worlds project, which would have been R. Kelly and Tupac. If you take the context and the time, Pac was at the height of his career at that point. R. Kelly hadn't really reached the height, but he was already really high where he was at.
It wasn't nobody better.
Those two powers at that point in time, we talk about between 96, like around, let's say between 96 and 98, that album would have dropped. It would have changed the landscape of music as we know it.
And what was the common thread that they had, J Rock? I just hit on it. They both addressed the ills of the culture and the community and the world at large. They had that kindred spirit of saying, you follow what I'm saying, J Rock?
Right, absolutely.
So that's why the idea of that, it fit and made sense.
Right, and then on top of that, and I said this years ago, when R. Kelly dropped that third album, that self-titled album in '95, I said at that point, I said, R. Kelly is the closest thing to come along, the closest thing to Marvin Gaye to come along in a decade. When that album dropped in '90, it wasn't 12 play, but that self-titled came up. That right there confirmed it for me. And the idea of Pac and Kels doing a joint album together, it would have been so massive, because it would have changed the dynamic of music. Not only that, I believe it would have changed the dynamic of hip hop too, because keep in mind, Kels already worked with Biggie before. So if R. Kelly and Pac was working together on the album, there's no way in hell you can tell me that Biggie would not have been on that project.
Of course, now you see all that ties in. But look at this, J Rock. I think I've said it before, so help me out. So what if you got the powers that be? See the impact. They got vision. They look down the line. They looking down the line. We stuck right in front of us, but they're looking down the line. So what if I can remove those two individuals? You got one on this coast, you got the other one on that coast. Man, what would happen to that culture?
I'll tell you this much.
Moving forward, if I can remove it. So back to
But my brother, hold on, stop right there. What you just said. What would happen to that culture? But first of all, we talking about oh, glory to God. Thank you, Lord. We're talking about a Robert Sylvester Kelly with, as they see, no education. But this powerful with no education. We can't allow that to be.
Right.
We have to do whatever is necessary and use us to take us down.
I got you on that. Yeah, Christ had unlearned men. He chose specifically those who are what astute. He didn't go to the Sanhedrin. and the Pharisees and the scribes, the well learned and trained. He didn't go to them. There was a reason for that. There was a reason for that. It was a reason for that.
Oh my God.
He went in the hood. He went in the hood.
I haven't heard no one yet speak on one of the most important things with R. Kelly and Tupac. The fucking empowerment of women that they talked about in their music.
Think about it, baby.
They always spoke to uplift women. Now, people can say what they want to say. R. Kelly have plenty of songs where he's encouraging women and talking about how much he appreciate women and everything that they do. From especially with his mother, Tupac the same way. With his mother, no matter what she did, and no matter how people tried to make her out to be whatever they wanted, he looked at her as his black queen, no matter what.
That's it.
When you hear him talking about the brothers in the neighborhood, these guys were talking about real life situation that we can walk out our front door and we see.
Right. That's a threat, though, nephew. That's what I'm saying. They don't want that. They do everything to. J-Rock, what's the title of that letter that changed the face of rap and hip hop? The letter that changed.
The letter that destroyed hip. The
change. Yeah.
The letter that changed hip hop and destroyed a generation. I believe is what the name is.
So the same thing was done with Brother Kelly. The impact that he has made and done across the globe, that's a problem for them individuals. That's an issue. You got to see how serious that is. That's an issue. And you are African American? No, that ain't what we established. How you going? That's a threat. So you think
it's funny you're saying that. Listen, that's a threat. That's a threat. Remember what you just said. That's a threat. You kept saying it. That's a threat. Who else, as they can see, quote unquote, right now, is a threat that was financially supporting a Tupac and a Biggie to get them their start? Who did that? Donald Trump. Yeah.
I see where you're going.
You happened the wrong one. You putting your money into people that we don't see, we quote unquote don't see, that's gonna be speaking our language. But he did not just see what you saw. He's not supposed to see what you saw.
Right.
He saw what was deeper in the man.
And I saw something on a couple nights ago on Entertainment Tonight. A reporter interviewed Diddy. Diddy's coming out with an album, and here's the funny part. And they asked him about the album, and he said, and I think it's called the Love Album Off the Grid. And he said, and the reporter asked him, why did you name it that? And the first thing he said was, we don't have any love making, baby making R&B music. So I'm like, okay, so you gonna have Diddy come out with an R&B music, with an R&B album?
I'm not even going
to read between the lines. Hear me, J-Rock. Read between the lines. Hear me. When I tell you this here, I'm telling y'all what I know, not what I think I know.
Okay.
I kind of think I know where you
remember.
Me too.
You got to go to, if you're on my Facebook page, there is someone, that's someone, and that's someone, and I'm y'all go with me now. Follow me as my cousin say, my brother say, Uncle Muse. Follow me now. There is someone, that's someone. Ghost. Y'all heard me. But someone that works closely with the Diddy. if you can't get it out there one way, huh?
Come on, need some more.
Speak to the lights.
Hey, I hear you.
You got to do what is necessary.
Yeah.
Who, and I don't want y'all to answer, who spoke on Robert's behalf?
As far as
Who spoke on Robert's behalf in New York? That's all I'm gonna say. So, nephew, when you get a chance, you can go back to that part and just show the people, let them pick it up. If they pick it up, if they don't, oh well. But who spoke on Robert's behalf in New York? And that's going to give you your answers. Because we can't give them everything. Because some stuff we got to have in the chambers. But there is that someone that spoke on Robert's behalf that works closely.
Well, we got about 10 minutes left on live. Nisimo, J-Rock. I want us to conclude this by, touching back to giving our final statements on our opinion as far as Jane Doe number 5, innocent in the program or complicit to the program. And Nisimo, since you the only lady on here, we're gonna allow you to go first, and then Unc and J-Rock, you all can, go however y'all choose to go. But Nisimo, you got the flow.
Okay, I'm reading what you have up here. After arranging for Jane Doe to meet defendant in his hotel, Jane's parents apparently called the police. Okay, stop right there. According to the actual police officer, he said, I never received a phone call from any parents. So if you didn't call the police because you was not in harm's way, or because you already knew that nothing was going to go down like that, I believe you intentionally wanted something to happen so that you can have something on him.
Yeah.
But because you didn't get what you was looking for, you had to go a little deeper. And I got to go back to what Derek said. I think it was Derek or Lil Mac. One of them said, when the father said, because he didn't know who DJ Tyson were, he said out of his own mouth, first of all, he said, that's my stepdaughter. And he also said, if he had given her a deal,
not even a deal. He said one song.
One song. He could have had her. What parent, I'm not going to say mother or father, I'm going to say parent, guardian, will say that in regards to any so-called child? And I have to say so-called child because until we see, because it hadn't been produced yet, a birth certificate, I'm going to say girlfriend was 18. Pretending to be 17. Because in their minds, they had already believed that all Robert wanted was little girls. And if he wanted little girls, he would have gotten Joycelyn's sister and not Joy.
Right. Very good point.
And that's where the plan went wrong. They sent her in she had the intention that when she got there that he was gonna have sex with her, and it wouldn't have took as long as it. You know what I'm saying? So they thought it was gonna happen.
They thought it was gonna be an in and out thing.
Yeah, that's what they thought it was gonna be, but it didn't happen the way that they planned it to be.
But one other thing, my nephew, that I can't let go. After reading them text messages, somewhere or along the line, Daddy was dropped off the text messages.
Yeah.
Because Mama was in love. Y'all hear me now? I'm a woman. Yeah. Mama was in love with her, some R. Kelly. So Mama and daughter, that's why daughter kept saying your wife.
Right. Yeah.
Because she knew another woman was trying to come in on her territory.
Come on, Nishimo. Keep it a band. Keep it a buck. Yes.
And that other woman was your wife.
That's why her wife. That's why the wife said she can't. She hoped one day she'll meet a celebrity, and she wanted to live her daughter lifestyle, but she couldn't because of her husband that she was married to. And she said one day she was gonna meet her celebrity, and this is what she said through the text message. But then she told,
if she got any text messages or any pictures showing Robert's private or what have you, Mama was getting off on that shit. Mama was enjoying that.
She was getting the pictures from the beginning.
Exactly. My point exactly. So I just said if, but I want y'all to know, Mama is and was falling in love.
Yeah.
With Robert Sylvester Kelly.
What she said, girl, he don't want to do no music. He want to fuck. He talking to her though. He was
talking to her. And remember, Vi, we can't ignore the fact the daughter had to find the mom. Mama didn't just give her the number.
Nah, she said she picked the phone up and saw.
She picked the phone up. So Mama would have still been texting. Mama probably would have been there in the house if daughter hadn't found that number.
The mama also told her, the mama was still texting when she found out, because the mama told her she sending the mama getting the text message. This is how these iPhones work, right? So I got an iPhone, an old iPhone. So I go buy me a new iPhone. If I don't delete my iCloud account off of that old iPhone, every text message that I get on my new iPhone is gonna come to that old iPhone. So you're gonna see every message still. So,
which is how the boy that Uncle Levi is talking about, how he was able to see everything.
Right. The mama was replying back to R. Kelly messages, but she was replying to the daughter. She was sending a message to the daughter and told the daughter, copy and paste. Do not forward the message. Therefore, R. Kelly will see that someone is forwarding these text messages. So the daughter was copying and pasting so she can cut the forward off, and she was sending the messages to him. And then all of a sudden, when the daughter just said she didn't want to be involved with them no more, cut them off, then that's when they got pissed off and said, we ain't finna have this. And the bullshit started. But that's just how involved these people were with what they did, to the point to where you messaging, you reading R. Kelly responses and you texting it to your daughter so your daughter can forward it to him, text it to him from her phone. So he don't see that all of y'all are seeing everything that he's saying.
Okay, one other thing, nephew, that I gotta bring to the forefront that Derek said. We can't leave that out because this is very vital. Very.
Okay.
The walk-in of Robert's home and studio.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. If you go back to the message, I hope somebody still got that message. That I'm saying the live that he did with DJ Tyson. DJ Tyson asked him, did you have anything to do with that man's house getting broken into? He said, we did that to scare him up. So that's where the plot starts. And that's where after I didn't pay attention to that in the beginning. But remember, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all on the front end, yes, I was in total communication with Don Russell because I wanted to know who's who and what's what.
Right.
And after I started to put the pieces to the puzzle, when Don Russell actually come into the play, Don Russell came in and he was in constant communication with Mr. Clary.
Wow.
So the thing that they had to do was to remember, you always, in the game, you always have a fall guy.
Yeah.
So Uncle Levi, if you're listening, go and see who's putting money on that dude's books.
Oh.
They ain't gonna say it like that because they'll say Levi, or they'll try to claim people got folks in the
I ain't gonna say you ain't got to go do it. First of all, that's open information for everybody. You can see that, everybody can see it. That's public knowledge for everybody. And I promise you, at the end of the day, you're going to see where the plot started there.
Damn, Nisi, I gotta get your contact information because I think you got some information that I really need. And
I love to see the messages between Cheryl Mack and the Clary family too. I really like to see what they were talking about. You know,
you don't just want to see those messages. You want to see the message between Cheryl Mack, Drea, and Lisa Van Allen.
I mean, that's pretty much what we've been trying to get the whole memoir, which exposed everything. Y'all heard that memoir. Y'all heard a lot of the information that we talking about right now. The whole plot. This woman was so pissed off with Robert and still working with him, but you pissed off about everything about him. Like you telling everything you mad because you ain't getting no money. You mad because you feel
she lied. She got when she was cross-examined in the courtroom. She was lying. She got so angry till she started acting like she was hyperventilating. Y'all remember me telling y'all this story when the prosecutor walked in front of Koenig, goes over to the bailiff, and the bailiff goes to the judge, and the judge goes over to the other bailiff and give her a bottle of water. And then you call saying we gonna take a recess. Y'all better make this shit make sense to me.
That's another thing about it though that's so irritating to me is because when we talk about, we know the people lying, but guess what? None of these lies was called out by the judge.
None of them.
And that's the part that's so irritating and frustrating because we can see here we can point this stuff out. But the judge, you literally allow these people to sit up on the stand and lie and not contest not one. You got a key witness in the trial saying, I didn't say this. The government said that.
Which is weird. The government, remember, that's where the judge was saying, when she said that, I think like the third or fourth time, that's when the judge said she was going to impeach their testimony, her and the other two. Okay, when I get there, the judge, the prosecution done had a conversation with the judge. You can't make me believe they didn't because I know they had to have a conversation. They told her, we're going down the drain. We're losing. So what the judge do? She pulled a damn anything out the hat and said, all of a sudden, now you are going to bring in a tape to change the whole freaking narrative. Y'all, the guy you talk to, I can't remember his name, that knows the law. You're not supposed to bring in evidence in the middle of the game.
She said wasn't no videos gonna be admitted, and all of a sudden she admitted a video.
She changed in the middle of the game.
Yep.
And this is how I know Nicole Blank Becker had something to do with the whole process when when she all of a sudden, y'all know, during COVID, anytime there was somebody that was affected or thought they had been tested positive of COVID, you had to wait 10 to 14 days before you can go into that room or be. They opened that courtroom back up the next day because they had to make sure. No, she was tested on Friday, and on Monday they was back in there, so they could go ahead on and do what they needed to do because she was part of the setup.
Yep. She was always a question mark. Her being a former prosecutor, she was always it was always something about her. But hey, let me say this, everyone. I'm gonna keep on reference to this. The last 24-hour live that my nephew Vi did. Go back to that particular live. Go to all the parts you want to, but I'm going to suggest you go to part 4. I'm not even going to speak on Miss Ann Donnelly. I already spoke on her in that particular live. You want to hear what I had to say? I had a complete breakdown of her. Very insightful. And also I want to say, that's why you got to understand, man, when you trying to walk in purpose, you just want goodness, you trying to walk in your gifting, you trying to be the best version of you. People don't understand the magnitude of the weight of what that's going to cost you. This is what that's going to cost you. And that's why a lot of people fold, a lot of people buck, a lot of people compromise, they sell their soul because they haven't fortified their inner self and to have an awakening, a high sense of awareness to realize, hey, this is my purpose, this is my gifting, this is no compromise. I can't be shaken from this. In order for that to come off, that's going to be a long, tedious process, man. And a lot of people don't have the fortitude and the patience to understand. I have to honor this process and get on the other side of that. I can't deviate. I can't miss no steps. It's going to be critical for where I'm going to maintain everything that I'm gonna have on my shoulders. Not everybody had that. Not everybody had that in them. You know what I mean? But when you don't walk in integrity, when you in a unhealthy space in your life, when you in a dark place, when you have no morals, you have no standards, no principle at all, this is what that looks like. This how serious that is. So you have to not only vet people, you yourself have to make sure you have that level of awareness and maturity. Because this game ain't for the weak and the timid, man.
Right.
When you got people with that much power, and I ain't talking about money, man. The most powerful people, man, that can take a piece of paper and a pen and change the course of your whole life and your destiny and your existence on this planet. Those are individuals you need to be paying attention to. Who you putting in office?
Right.
Who you put in office?
Right.
You know what I mean? I yield back.
Right. So
that's dangerous. That's dangerous territory. That is dangerous.
Right. So let's go back. Like, you remember when I was talking about, Dion, in his situation, and we was talking about walking in your purpose. One thing about it, and one thing that I can safely say, at some point in your life, you're going to hear God's voice tell you what direction to go. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing you have to realize in this life is God is not that type of a God that's going to try to force you to do anything. He's not going to force you to love him. This is all a free will situation. But you can get pointed in the direction. And if you go in the direction and you follow that path of righteousness that he wants you to follow, whatever that may be, it's some bumps in the road. Sometimes, it's all type of stuff to navigate through when you're trying to go and fulfill God's purpose. It's not no easy slope where you're going to go and you're going to avoid every sinner, every sin. But what you're doing, it's all about your driving your focus towards becoming a better person in Christ and his eyes and what his purpose is for you. So, like Dion says, his purpose is to go places and change the game. You know, and that's one of the things that, like I said, I was creating a similarity between him and R. Kelly. There's nobody in the industry that actually changed the game besides Michael Jackson, Prince, and R. Kelly. No one else. Now, well, the game has changed.
That is a threat coming from our particular community and ethnicity. When those that been running it, Brother Derek, that threat, that's how we got to realize.
Now that's in a positive direction.
But tell why it's a threat. Tell the reason, because there are some people hear you saying it's a threat. Y'all tell them why it's a threat.
And also, don't forget about Whitney, because she definitely
it is a threat. It's actually a threat to the establishment itself.
Right.
Now, the establishment is the establishment that had slaves. The establishment that now is trying to do gender identification. The ones that are doing the devilment in our society right now that has that has our education system messed up, and that's what they're worried about, and that's why what they're indoctrinating our children into. They're not teaching them history, not teaching them math, not teaching them science. They're teaching them that they may be in the wrong body. This is what they're teaching them. So now how do we eliminate a factor that can change the game? We can take the artist that sings about love and lovemaking and sex and all that great stuff between a man and a woman and just eliminate his music completely.
But Derek, it's also, we got to look at where I was going with that. We're talking about Black Americans.
Right. So think about it. The target within this onslaught of identification, and you got to think about anything that hits in communities. I don't care what it is. It hits in our community the hardest. You want to talk about bringing crack into it. It hit our community the hardest. COVID, we got hit the hardest. You know, I can go on and on and on and on about how we get hit hard with the negativity. So what the way that the game is being changed at this particular point is that our music is absolutely negative at this point. Think about what we're listening to, Pound Town, and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, there's no substance in somebody's the color of your body parts. There's no substance in that shit. But yet we're subject to that. Now the danger of what is happening here is that we are in a situation they are taking. Why it's dangerous to society for us to be the successes is because if we become the success, we gain the control. We gain it.
You better speak, baby.
We gain that control. If they would have allowed or tried, what they were trying to do was avoid the inevitable. What we're seeing in college football is what they was trying to avoid in R&B.
Avoid, exactly.
That's what they were trying to avoid in music.
Right.
Yeah, and
what you're seeing is the changing of the guard. What you're seeing is that an NFL player can go to college and change the game as a coach.
Yep.
A Black NFL player can go there and people gonna flock to the school.
And Derek, do you remember the black coach that came out and spoke up and talked about how they were paid to lose? And he said he didn't want to be a part of that. That's kind of where that opened the eye of what's actually happening in football.
And in case y'all don't know who that coach is, that was Brian Flores when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
Thank you.
Okay. It's the same concept of that docu-lies. Those original, what they are, J-Rock, original screenwriters.
The original writers of Survival Not Killing.
The original writers and editors.
That speaks volumes, man. You know, that speaks volumes right there. See, here's the thing. Part of my last comment, I tie everything up from what I've been hearing and what we've been talking about. You can apply this for this case, your own personal life, and just the world at large. Whatever it is, let me slow down. Whatever it is, from A to Z, I don't care what you name, that's important to you to get to why you've been born in this earth and how that looks like every single day that you got to do to get to that. Whatever that is, however great that is, that down there, for that to come reality, be produced, if you to get that and get that, whatever it is, got to be greater. It has to be greater than anything you're dealing with right now, whatever it is. That's the only way you're going to maintain your peace and your integrity and your sanity every single moment. If you don't have that down there as your disciplined focus, then where you currently at will crush you.
You know what? I'm
Are
gonna
you back?
piggyback a little bit what Derek was talking about. The 4 names that was mentioned: Michael Jackson, Prince, R. Kelly, and I also threw Whitney in it. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, the greatest entertainer who ever lived. Whitney Houston, one of the most powerful and dynamic voices to ever grace music. Prince, one of the most influential and powerful music and one of the greatest musical geniuses of the past 50 years. And you got R. Kelly, the greatest singer-songwriter of the modern era. 3 of the 4 are dead, and 1 is in jail. Let that marinate for a minute. 3 of the 4 are dead, and 1 is in jail. And the one that is in jail wrote and produced for 2 of the 3 that died.
3 out of 2 or 3. Yep. I wish there had been R. Kelly Prince come out.
Come on, J Rock. Come on, J Rock. Teach us.
So if you really sit back and think about this, name me 3 Caucasian artists at or near the level of Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Prince that all died in a time frame of less than 7 years. I'll wait.
They get to sell their masters and enjoy life.
Right up.
Exactly.
So my point of saying that is the threat, I think Brother Kelly articulated it better than anybody can do it. And I alluded to it earlier. He said, and I'm going to paraphrase, his core, with everything, his core of what he wanted to do with his music, initially, where his heart was, I couldn't even say it, nephew already spoke it. The inspirational, the humanity, he said, he used the word humanity songs, which touch every human being. It crosses all barriers, all ethnicities, all cultures. When you have the powers that be in this particular industry that got the control and the reign to them, for you to break that, like Coach Prime is doing, it's a major impact and threat to them.
Yep.
They in alliance with great politicians and wealthy, influential people. This is why, and I yield back on this note, this is why before they did all of that foolery in court, before they did all the legal, that's a walk in the park. They do that, that's their living, man. They do that every day. That was nothing. They do that for a living. But what they needed to do is what they had been doing, playing chess. They was listening to those interviews, and you're not going to tell me they did not do it. When they heard him talk with Tether Smiley, oh, that's where his support and strength is at. You got to kill that before we even get into this legal stuff, because we ain't got nothing. But it's going to make sense, and it's going to be so in their face, they're not going to be able to catch it. So we're going to use witchcraft.
Yep.
And sorcery. That's what I got to say about Miss AC, that whole family, and the other side family. is nothing but a Jezebel wicked spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a demonic spirit. Let me tell you why the attack is on him and the people we name. Because all the common thread with these individuals is they spoke to the ills of humanity, the goodness and the love to encourage, to motivate, to inspire, to be a better person, to enjoy this quality of life. However that looks for you. When you have individuals doing it, Pac said himself, when we do stand up and do this, when we do speak and stand up for our community, we don't get the support, we get attacked. He says, so that's why you see niggas fall back and live a negative lifestyle, quote unquote, because to them in their psyche, it's safer to do that.
Yeah, it's safer to be in Rome and do like the Romans.
You know what I mean? Because of the attack. So that's why they kill. That's what, ooh, man, I ain't trying to do. Oh, man, if I speak up, man, that's going to. But look at this. Look at what happened with the NBA. They was waiting for a particular player to see what he had to say for them to move the rest they're going to move. I get back on that. But look at if all of them came together to voice their concern with the owners. Look at the power and the unity and the support that is.
But
So
if they didn't speak up, as we stated initially in 2019, you gonna speak up now with Rod and Dr. Cosby, or you gonna stand alone and speak by yourself? And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get out of here, y'all. I promise y'all. It's been a good conversation today, man. I promise. But we get back to we finna get back to where we once were, and we're gonna keep building, and we're gonna keep having these type of conversations, and just breaking it down, just elaborating on it, because we touched some other topics that could be main focal points that I want to bring back and just key in on those focal points that we touched on throughout this live today. So, my conclusion, I feel it's safe to say that Jane Doe number 5 was more so complicit than innocent to this situation. That's the main conclusion that I get from it.
Hey, nephew, can I make a suggestion? And just a humble and respectful suggestion to get the chat more involved. What do you think about an approach to, like you did on the last 24-hour live, when you specifically asked the panel and gave them specific individuals, and then you set the question up in such a way it drew out of them what it drew out of them? That's why I said, out of all the lives you did, even the one we didn't record, that was a life-changing live. I would suggest y'all go to part 4. Fast forward all the way up to about 3 hours and 56 minutes. You should have J-Rock on there. Stay with that all the way to the end of that. And man, it's gonna be life changing. So what do you think about doing that, where the chat is able to send in like questions that they want particular individuals on the panel to answer the way they answer things? I yield back. What you think about that concept?
That most definitely would be a good concept. Just start the live off asking people in the chat if they got questions, to pose their questions in the comments, and just put the question on the screen, and let whoever they choose to hear from answer the question. We most definitely, like I say, I like it most definitely when it's organized, and everybody can get a chance to speak and be heard. So that actually that's actually a good suggestion, for to get the fans, to get the supporters that's in the comments involved. I have been putting the link in the comment section for people who's in the comments that may want to come up. You just have to show yourself before you able to get on the stream. That's gonna be a new one of the new ways of us getting the chat people involved in the conversation as well.
Can I ask a question? is there a way on StreamYard that you have your panel up, but also where you can actually see the comments on the other, on one side, and you know, you see the panel, but you also see all the comments, because if you're on your phone or what have you, you know, you got to turn YouTube off in order for you to be able to be on StreamYard.
Yeah, I
But
can see the comment. Yeah, I see the
but I'm
the live
saying
comments.
where we're able to see the comments ongoing, you know, you see the panel, but you
Oh,
also
I think you can. You just have to go at the bottom at the thing. I would have to look on it, but I think you can, because when I be on Joe's, yeah, when I go on Joe's, I can see the comments. You just have to go to chat. Yeah, you have to go down to the bottom where it say chat. Then it's gonna say comments or something right there. But yeah, you can see the comments.
okay,
So
because I was thinking, like, you know, as like I'm looking at the live on my TV now. So if with me looking at the live on my TV, I'm just wondering, can we see the ongoing comments that's in the chat on the screen as well?
Yeah, I know when I have to do it, I'm on my phone. I go at the bottom where it says more, and then when I hit that, it gives me a four options. It says comments, stream this to your audio settings, and cancel. When I press comments, then I can scroll up and down and see what the comments are. That's how I do it. And then it says at the
Okay, so
bottom,
you say join the chat. Do you put join the chat?
yeah, it got it highlighted when I go to the comments at the bottom, join the chat, which means if I hit that, I believe I'm understanding it right, that I can interact with them and type in like that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
saying is,
I
like,
can go.
even though we're on the panel, but the panel is on one side and this ongoing comments is on the
So you
other
talking
side.
about like how you watching it, like if you sitting at home and you like you want to see one side,
Yes.
the other side
Yes.
comments.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You back to the laptop.
Because I know that what Big Vi do
no,
is
your comments gonna be at the bottom.
yeah, he hit on one, and that's what's gonna pop up on the screen. Like if he sees
Okay. Well, I was just wondering if you can set it up where it's ongoing. You can see all the comments on one side and the panel is on the other side. You see everything.
Yeah,
I know StreamYard got a lot of stuff, but
yeah, I'm not too good. I'm not too good with that one.
You got a lot of stuff going on in there, but I know I ain't seen that part yet. It may be able to be done. Who knows?
Oh, and for those that can, if you can, not pushing it, but if you can just send our brother Big Vi a donation. You know, remember, y'all, he's a single father, trying to rear his children to the best of his ability. So we can just support some kind of way or another. That's that would be great.
Yeah, I trust West Michigan just coming in.
Definitely appreciative. You know, just relocated. So hey, God is working, man. God is working.
Work?
Well, Monday will be my first business week here. So
okay.
So where you at, man?
Sir Miguel, you got it, Sir Miguel.
I don't want to say too much, but I'm in the north. We'll talk.
Oh boy, you better hit my line. I promise to God, you better hit my line. That's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? I expected you to say that, so that's what's up. Tap my line.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you immediately because we're gonna find out. Let me find out.
Yeah. Nisi, I need your info ASAP.
Get it from your brother.
Oh yeah,
Bye.
check this out.
I got it.
About
and Derek, I sent you a message. I need you to I'll send you a message.
Send me another message.
Okay.
And check it out, y'all. I'll probably be going live later on this evening. I'm gonna be doing some.
Please don't lie, Derek. Don't lie, Derek.
I'm gonna do some weekend.
We're gonna cut up. We're gonna cut up over there, Derek. We're gonna be able to cut up.
Look at here. I don't have no filter. I try my best to be nice on Big Bad stuff and try to have. But I keep about everything I feel about everything.
I'm so gonna like it. I was on Kingpin and Crux show last night rather, and I they went on off, man. I was in that comment heavy, boy. I was in that heavy.
Because I really want for people to understand. I want to kind of do a little presentation on who I feel like that. These I call them trumped up charges now. They really trumped up charges.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing that R. Kelly could have ever said to me was use my common sense. Because I look at everything differently, and I just look at you have to go the extra mile to think. You just got to, because people out here on the make. You got a whole government that's prosecuting a person like they was a career politician committing crimes. Think about.
But then they want us to believe that black men have never gave a thought about black women. That's not true.
Yes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and let Big Vi get on up out of here. I got a couple of football games to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then I got to do some. I'm starting a brand new job tomorrow. So
all righty now.
All right, yeah. You told me that's what's up, man.
And check it out. And just real quick before we get up out of here, I had a heck of a 3-month period here, man. I actually lost the job due to structural democratic reorganization.
Right.
Retooling of a company because of all of this foolishness that our government now has put into place.
Say it again. Say that one more time. Say that one more time. One more time.
That our current government and administration has put into place. Now, fortunately, I was able to, stick it out for 3 months. God is good, and and I've been able to make it to my next, journey. And in that, I'm going to do my best, because I'm going to give my best.
Yes, sir.
And remember, y'all, my brother just moved into his house too. So he got to do what he got to do.
Yeah.
All the single ladies.
Look, I ain't jumped on action for air cash out. Shit. How about it? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
grown man do his own shit.
There you go. That part right there.
Yeah, I ain't asking. Cash out. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to bless somebody, you can. But anyway,
we do accept donations.
We do accept them joints, but at the same time, man, we have to understand that God is good, and as long as you doing what you're supposed to do and walking in the path that He has for you, and do not deviate, things are gonna be all right.
It's gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right. I mean, everything works itself out for the good, and we all good people. We want a good result. We don't want no harm to these females that made these accusations.
There you go.
We just want our boys free, man.
Yeah, we want that clear. We want to make that clear.
We just want our boy free, man.
We want him free, but me being a woman, I want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. But so help me God.
We can't get the truth unless we get it from the man's mouth, and obviously he ain't gonna tell us everything because he got court cases.
Thank you.
So it's up to us to use our brains and think and figure out what the heck is going on.
Yes, sir.
Take the feelings and emotions out of it about molestations from the past that you may have experienced and get to the truth.
There you go.
This person. There is no way that one man can have a 16-album, 30-year career with tour dates all over the place, fully booked all year long. And then when he does not do that, he's in the studio making music 24/7 to the point where he gets rare sleep and plays basketball at the same time. But yet you want to tell me this man, amongst all of these things, has a part-time job. Actually, this is all a front to hostage women.
You ain't gonna never get me to believe that mess.
This is all. This is what you surviving R. Kelly these people into believing.
Yeah, and was in the studio so long, Derek, composing and working with artists. He had to ask his own staff what day it was.
But listen, y'all, and we're talking about a perfectionist.
Yeah. Yeah, I already know.
He will not allow anything come out in his name, which is why you never got an album, just a song, sweetheart. You can't sing.
Speak on it. Blessings to you, Big Vibe. Blessings to you for this wonderful atmosphere platform that you've been leading out in. Bless you, nephew. Bless you. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Be safe. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. It will be phenomenal. You just speak it so and navigate through whatever challenges that will probably come.
We back. We back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, shout out to you, Uncle Muse. Shout out to the Vi. Vi, I'm definitely gonna get in contact with you because I got to get Nisimo's information. So I got because she got some information that I know that I definitely need to be privy to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad I caught it when I did, man. I was, lazy. It's vacation, you are. So I'm, you know how it is.
Happy birthday too, by the way, Muse.
Yeah. No, it's coming up Tuesday. My birthday.
Coming up?
Yeah, it's actually Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
yeah, I put my vacation on this whole week. Yeah. So, yeah, man. We just cruising on in it, man. We just want to cruise on in it, Looking forward to that yacht cruise over there in Navy Pier, over there and here in Chicago, man. And we're going to enjoy that, man. And then going to bring it on in. Yeah. So I'm just celebrating the whole week, man. The whole month. Anybody have a birthday in your month? That month is your birthday. Not just that only day of that month. That whole month is your birthday. And if that's too much for you to handle, then whatever week your birthday fall in, you celebrate that whole week. That's how you do it. That's how you really do it. How much you think you valuable in work? I did. I yield back. I yield back.
All right, I'm gonna dip on out, but shout out to Vi, shout out to Muse, shout out to Nisimo, Derek, Lil Mac, Levi that came through. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the whole chat. Much love to every last one of y'all. I'm gonna dip on out, and I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to we link up again.
Most definitely,
yes,
man.
sir.
I appreciate y'all for coming through.
And nephew, man, I'm glad I came in when I did, man.
Oh yeah, man. I knew you was coming.
Yeah. I said, oh man. Let me hurry up and get it together. Yes, sir. Other than that, how you feeling, nephew? How your mental doing?
Ready to get started.
Okay. That's what's up.
Ready to get started, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And remember in my closing, let me say it again, everyone in the chat. Whatever you aspire to become, you are now becoming. So don't quit. Don't give up. Push through this process and everything that you're learning, whatever that may be, right, wrong, and indifferent. It is needed to get on the other side. Because once you get on the other side, there are some individuals that only you can touch the heart of their soul with your message. So it's critical that you keep that mindset through the process and get on the other side. Where you currently want to be, got to be greater than where you currently at. And I yield back. Uncle Muse signing off. Blessings and grace and peace to everybody. Blessings to your nephew. Love your nephew.